All right, welcome back, everyone, to Lakers Latest. I hope you guys have had a good day. I hope you've had a good Monday, as good as a Monday can be. Obviously, no one enjoys Monday, so you just got to get through it and kind of that start to the week. It's like jet fuel just to get going. But yeah, hope everyone had a good day. Like I said, I'm officially back in the West Coast, back in Studio City. I'm doing another night video. I was just very busy today, so it's about 8 p.m. here on September 22nd, Studio City. It's about 69 degrees outside. It's very nice, very cool. Not hot. Again, we're nearing end of September, so it's definitely going to start getting cooler. Cooler temperatures moving forward. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty excited again. We are so close now to not football, basketball starting. Lakers basketball specifically. Preseason first game September 3rd. Training camp's getting going. Media day. So we're close, folks. And yeah, super excited. So gonna start with, as always, it kind of seems LeBron James. He's been all over the place. We've talked about at first, he obviously accepted the player option in the offseason. And then there's just been speculation on what he's going to do the entirety of this year and next year ever since that's happened. We've kind of heard, oh, this might be his last year in Los Angeles. He might not come back to the Lakers. He might retire after the season. And there are still multiple different prevailing sentiments under that on whether those actually will come to fruition and which of those are actually true. But Tim Botems, who's a very great reporter on ESPN, kind of said there's a lot of talk league wide about how, and this is surprising to me because I really at least up to this point I hadn't really seen any discussions on this or any legitimate really legs to this, but that there's a lot of people league wide that could see LeBron turn to the Lakers after this season, come back. Obviously, he said right now if it was the Lakers versus the field, he would technically take the field, but he would take the Lakers if it was them versus a specific team, which doesn't really make sense. I think what he's saying is right now he would still take the Lakers, but it's just interesting to me. I think that especially throughout the course of this offseason, we've kind of, I don't want to say like definitely accepted that this is LeBron's last year in the Lakers, but I feel like we've been edging towards that, right? Like all the stuff's happened. Luka obviously, goes on this campaign, Eurobasket. They're posting all the stuff. They know he's the face of the franchise moving forward. Even if LeBron were to hypothetically stay one more year, it's it's one more year probably at most. But the reality of the situation is it's just surprising because to me, at least up until this point, I had always thought the plan was for LeBron to basically probably either retire or leave the Lakers after this year. So the fact that we're kind of getting this information now, I don't know if this is planned. Rich Paul also, and again, this was from Botems. This is what he said league wide. But Rich Paul, who obviously is LeBron's agent, mega agent, one of the biggest agents in the NBA, one of the biggest agents in professional sports, said, "Don't worry about LeBron's future right now. Just focused." And that to me says two things. Number one, just push out all the noise. Like LeBron is locked in and focused on the season with the Lakers, which is great to hear. Like we said, we've talked a ton about how LeBron knows each year gets lesser and lesser his chances of winning a championship. So this could be his last year. Next year could be his last year. But the point is, every year and every team he's on until he retires, whether that be just the Lakers this year and next year, the Lakers this year, some other team next year, he wants to be in win now mode. All he wants to do is compete for that final championship that he wants to either win or just compete for. And that's his mindset and that's his goal. And we'll see. I mean, maybe if all goes well this season, and obviously we want the Lakers to win. Even if they don't win, let's say they lose in the conference finals or finals, maybe LeBron comes back and wants to give it one last go. But I definitely find it interesting just that again, it's kind of just being brought up before training camp, before media day, and I'm sure he'll get some questions on this during media day. But it kind of just seems like we're back just continuously talking about LeBron's future, even though Rich Paul says don't talk about it. But it's just so hard not to, right? Because not many people can play this level at 41. Not many legendary free agents become free agents this late in their career and can still operate at this level. So LeBron is obviously an anomaly. He's unbelievable. He's incredible, and we would love to see him here next year too. But if this is his last year, we're gonna enjoy it. But yeah, we'll see what happens in that regard. All right, next on the docket. So I want to talk about Austin Reaves, and we've kind of talked about Austin Reaves, right? Like, as in, where do we see him fitting this year? Where do we see him fitting in the future? Now, this year, We've kind of talked a bunch about either him starting, coming off the bench. I do think I expect him to start. I think that it's hard to tell because I think basically you kind of have Reaves, you have Marcus Smart, you kind of have these two guys where it's like they're obviously polar opposites, right? Smart is this defensive crazy lunatic, like crazy type player, and then Austin Reaves is this offensive, very offensively talented player. He's gotten better every year. But the thing about Reaves is, and there is, it's a question to ask: is he the second guy that needs to be second fiddle to Luka? Regardless of whether LeBron's here one more year after this year or he leaves, like he's 41 years old, one more year peak, probably, right? So the question then becomes, who's going to be Luka's second fiddle? Is Austin Reaves that guy? Like, do you really think, excuse me, do you really think that he's capable of doing those things, that he can be a number two, legitimate, that can be the second best player in championship team? I don't know. I do think they have to make a decision before they re-sign him, right? If he wants 30 to 35 million, do they think that's the right move? Do they think that he can really be that guy, or are they going to pay him that money and then still go out and get that second guy so maybe he can be the number three guy? I think the question is, can you win a championship him as number two best player? The answer is no. It's not. And I don't ever really see that being the case. He's a great player, but he's not that good. So he either needs to be your third best player, or you need to trade him and maybe allocate different assets, get different assets. You know, if you trade him to a team that maybe wants to needs a guard play and gives you 2 first-round picks, a young player, that's something you can turn into another trade. Or now you have those 2 first-round picks to maybe you can hit on one of them, but now you can use them in a potentially bigger mega trade. I don't know about Austin Reaves. I do like Austin Reaves. Is he the answer moving forward next to Luka? Probably not, but you need to decide, do we want to pay Austin Reaves to be that number 3 guy, or do we want to trade Austin Reaves, get a number 2 guy, and then use those additional assets to get maybe a better number 3 guy that fits the team? I don't know. These are questions that most likely I would say will be picked up in the offseason. We'll really determine, and obviously we're technically still in the offseason for another week, but next offseason I think we'll get a better idea of where Reaves goes, unless obviously there's a blockbuster trade, which especially after last year, you can never really rule that out midseason. So we'll see what happens to Austin Reaves. I am a really big Austin Reaves fan, but at the end of the day, you still need to, I think, find a way to make that decision on where you're going to go with him moving forward. All right, so now next on the docket we got Lakers legend Pat Riley. So basically there was a report, I can't remember who it came out, but the fact that it said something along the lines, and again, we've kind of heard the Wiggins talk, we've talked about Wiggins, but basically the idea would be that Riley doesn't want to trade Wiggins to the Lakers because he doesn't want to help out LeBron. Now, I know the way it ended in South Beach and Miami was not, by all accounts, it wasn't good. Like, they didn't have a good relationship near the end. I don't think it went well. I think they thought LeBron was going to stay, and then he went to Cleveland. Didn't end well in Miami. So there's probably still a little bit of animosity there on Pat Riley's end. But I think that I just don't believe this. Like, Danny Ainge is the type of GM I could believe this from. Pat Riley, maybe he wouldn't want to, like, intentionally help LeBron. Like, he wouldn't be like, oh, I'm definitely going to trade Wiggins there. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's the type of guy who would necessarily prevent, like, a trade because he has this grudge against LeBron. I just don't see that. I think at the end of the day, Pat Riley, obviously, Lakers legend, coaching legend. He's been an incredible GM, president of basketball ops in this league for a very long time for the Heat. He's, a legend, Hall of Famer. And to me, like, yes, I could maybe see, like, he would prefer to trade them to someone else. But if the Lakers come up with the right offer, especially if we're nearing the deadline, the Heat are in no man's land, where I personally expect them to be, it's something that he's going to have to come up with. Okay, let me pick up the phone with Rob. Let me try and get the best for what I can do. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, especially after what we're hearing now, I don't necessarily think that this trade is happening anytime soon. I don't expect it to happen before the regular season. It's possible, especially we've referenced Karl Anthony Towns trade last year near the end of September as a trade that can happen before the regular season starts, but it's very rare. So I wouldn't expect this Wiggins deal to happen until midseason, maybe close to the trade deadline. I don't think necessarily because it's Pat Riley, it's going to prohibit them from doing it. So we'll see what happens, but I think I don't think that's something that would prohibit them from doing it. Maybe he would want more because of it, but I still think that deal can definitely get done throughout the season, at some point in the season. All right, we're going to finish on Kawhi. Now we've talked about the aspiration deal with the Clippers. The NBA is doing a full-on investigation. They might want to hire Pablo Torre because he's significantly better than that and than anyone they currently have. But I don't know. I just find it interesting that's going on. Obviously, we don't know if Kawhi's contract's going to get voided. I doubt it. But again, another report basically came out that Kawhi wanted an ownership stake in the Lakers when he was inquiring in the 2019 free agency, which is just like, it's just crazy to me, man. Like these guys want so much, especially Kawhi. We know his uncle was running it, but it's like, dude, like you want an ownership stake, like maybe play a game, maybe play in a consistent full season and consistent playoff games before you decide to make these requests. Like all you do is get hurt, dude. When you're healthy, you're unbelievable, but you're never healthy, and it just never happens. So it's just crazy looking back at the revisionist history of everything. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow.